Hello, and thank you for joining us today for a presentation about CMMC and you. My name is Michael Weir. I'm a member of Ingram Micro's Delta Force. I'm a Fortinet NSE 7 certified, CMMC RP certified technical account manager for Fortinet here, and I'm going to be taking you through this subject today. Little table of contents, what our overview is going to be. First, we're going to talk about what CMMC is and what made the DoD move to CMMC, when contractors have to start complying with CMMC, and what is coming up. Now, if you don't know the what, that probably makes no sense to you at all. So let's talk about the what. So what is CMMC? CMMC is a new set of standards you have to follow regarding DoD contract security. It's for DoD contractors dealing with federal contract information or controlled unclassified information. Now, what are those, you might ask? Well, this is a list of things that count as controlled unclassified information. I'm not going to read them out loud to you, but a few of the highlights: intelligence, law enforcement, defense, and nuclear tend to make sense to people, so do tax and financial. NATO, international agreements, that tends to make sense to people, but some of the things you don't think about are things like statistical information, tax or financial information, patent information, acquisition information, procurement information, and of course there's the catch-all provisional, which could be anything else that needs to be secured at any given time. And in terms of how we secure it, that's divided up into domains. And here we have the domains of CMMC security. These are the areas in which all those things I mentioned on a previous slide need to be protected. And what you're seeing right here is the set for CMMC Level 3, which will eventually become the benchmark. CMMC Level 1 is relatively easy to obtain. If you're FARS compliant, it's roughly the same. CMM3 is where people are really going to be put to the test, because they're going to have to secure all that controlled unclassified information in all these different areas. Some highlights here is it's not actually just cyber. Look at access control. Access control can even do things like who can get into your office, or are folders labeled, that kind of thing. We're talking about auditing and accountability. What has happened? Incident response, risk management. These are things that are done even prior to any CUI even coming into the environment, besides the things that happen once it's there. So let's say you're a DoD contractor. Now you have to ask yourself, what happens if I don't comply? And what happens is something we're going to say a lot now. It's going to be bang. Bye-bye DoD contract. Hello bankruptcy. Bang. So why do we have CMMC coming into play right now? And the reason is what I would call a rolling ball of fail. There's three things that have been going on. There's laziness. Previously, to be a DoD contractor, you had to comply with certain standards, and it wasn't generally audited, so unaudited compliance oftentimes led to no compliance. Outdatedness. The existing regulations were made for much less dangerous cyber time, and of course targets. The more stuff we connect to the internet, the more targets there are going to be for internet bad actors, which can result in the bang. Next, let's talk about when. When and a little bit of what. So as you can see, from 2021 to 2025, the number of contracts requiring some form of CMMC level certification is going to increase, quite radically, in fact. And a few notes about this is levels 1 and 2 only deal with federal contract information, so the requirements are much less strict. Levels 3 and up deal with controlled unclassified information as well. A note, though, is if we're talking about commercial off-the-shelf manufacturers, that this does not apply to them, because obviously we could just go to Target and get it. But as these numbers of contracts requiring CMMC increase, what's going to happen if you're not compliant? Well, you're going to go bang. And a little bit about your environments. I want to talk about environments, aka customer problems. There's a couple of different ones here. This is going to be the 4 environments as I could classify that the contractors will fall into. Number 1 is new environments. Since you know you're going to have to be CMMC compliant to some level eventually, you need to have strategic and intentional planning when you're creating this new environment. For an existing environment, wow, I've got this new compliance coming. We're going to have to segment, replace, and retrofit as much as we possibly can. For failed environments, there is some window for remediation, but it's better not to get there in the first place. And if you are doing remediation, you need to do it in a hurry before the contract leaves. And then there's such a thing as cooperative. So there are certain contracts that could be fulfilled with the CUI staying at the prime contractor's location and the subprime contractors accessing it there. It's probably going to be horribly inefficient to do that, but that is something that could potentially happen. But you know what? If you're in one of these environments and you can't fix the problems, you get the bang. Now a little bonus, I want to talk about the CMMC Audit. I'm just going to flash a couple things up on the screen here. Feel free to pause when you see them. Here are the things that count as CUI. Here are the domains of CMMC security. Now, look at this picture for me, and in the comments down below, comment if you see anything. I want you to spot the possible CUI locations in this picture. Bonus points, whose line is it anyway style, for anybody who can find some and find the most. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Michael Weir at ingrammicro.com. There's my work phone number and my LinkedIn. Let me know if you have any questions anytime. Anyway, I or the Delta Force at Ingram Micro can help you. Otherwise, have yourselves a great day.